Outplacement is required by the disabilities law in Connecticut when Wilton is unable to provide the necessary educational services they need. Currently, we have 14 students who require outplacement. What do you think about this law and services, and would you advocate for these children, or would you like to see the law change in any way?
I mean, look, it's the law, and I think ultimately what it gets at, I think conceptually I agree with, which is the idea of if the town can't serve our residents, then we have an obligation, because we have an obligation to provide education. That's part of the contract the town has with its residents. And if we can't meet one of our students' needs, then we have to find an alternative way to meet those needs. Now, I don't know that I would, I think at that level, that makes sense to me. I think the core question for us is the one that Tammy was just talking about, which is, what can we do to make sure that the gap between what our students need and what we're able to provide is as small as possible in a way that is also cost effective. And if there's one student and that one student costs us $250,000, but building those needs in-house costs $500,000, then we should happily pay the $250,000. And at the same time, if we can deliver what that student needs for $50,000, we should find a way to do it.
Ms. Ely?
I think it's a good law. I think it understands that school systems can't always meet the needs of every child that comes its way. And so for us to, just in fairness, children are not outplaced until it absolutely positively has to happen. So there's a lot of process before that outplacement happens. So if there's a school district that is saying, we can't really do much more for this child and a more therapeutic setting would be better, then that's something that we should do. And whether it costs $500,000 or $250,000, that's our job, is to make sure that these kids are safe and have an option to learn, whether it's at our district or in a more therapeutic setting. So I agree with the law, and I agree with the fact that we end up we try very hard not to outplace, but if the outplacement is something that is absolutely necessary, that's something that we should do for our kids.
Ms. Davies?
I agree with both of the people up here with me, and I think the law the Individuals with Disabilities Act has stood since 1975. It's not really incumbent upon us to change the law. I mean, it would probably be a good idea for someone to look at it again in the federal government. But we're bound by the law to educate kids in the environment they need to be educated in, and that's what we're doing.